Hey everyone, and thanks for watching. Today we're going to be showing you how to tame animals in the Ark Survival Evolved game. As you can see on my screen, I'm actually looking for my Fiomia. It's the first saddle you get in the game is for a Fiomia. That's the first one you can make anyway. So I went out and I found myself one, and I was like, I gotta tame this thing. Now, I hadn't tamed anything up to this point, so I was a little new at it, and I thought after I got it done, man, I should make a video on that so that others don't struggle as hard as I did. So basically what you want to do, you're going to see me punching the animal. Now, this works really well with low-level animals, and I struggled with a little bit of lag too. The animals, as you're chasing them and punching them, will lag all over the place. That makes it a little difficult. Hopefully that'll get fixed later on. But with the low-level animals, you want to just kind of punch them until they get knocked out. Later on, you can use a bow as a weapon to knock animals out, and that's how you get the higher level ones. But you'll see here in a second, punching it will knock out the animal. It won't kill it. If you use an axe or a pick, it'll actually kill the animal. After that, you can pretty much just put all of your berries that you have on you into the animal's inventory. Sometimes they'll eat through the first couple berries rather quickly. And another thing you want is you want the Narco Berries. So you saw me there put in some berries and Narco Berries, and I realized I don't have enough berries. So before, you want to make sure that you gather a ton of berries, and you're seeing me here in the video. I'm actually gathering up berries as I go after I decapacitated the animal. But you want to make sure that you collect probably at least 100 berries just to be safe with the lower level animals. And you want a good like 50 Narco Berries. The reason that you put the Narco Berries in there, and this is something I struggled with for a while, was you actually have to click on the Narco Berry, and then down at the bottom of the inventory screen underneath all the berries, you'll see remote use. You'll have to use this on the Narco Berries in order to keep the animal sleeping. So you click on the berry, click remote use, it'll feed the berry to the animal, and then that'll keep it asleep. Now, the Narco Berries will gain you about 7 seconds of what's called torpor. Torpor can be seen down there at the bottom of the stats, and it says like right now it's about 220 out of 252. The lower the torpor, or once the torpor reaches 0, the animal's going to wake up. So you have to keep feeding it Narc Berries to keep the torpor up, keep it knocked out until it becomes conscious. Now, this whole process can take anywhere from 20 minutes with the smaller animals, maybe even a little quicker. I spent later on about, I don't know, probably 2 hours taming this Carno, which is a carnivorous, it's kind of like an Allosaurus in a sense, but I was taming this Carno for 2 hours, and then the server called for a restart, and I was like, well, there goes that 2 hours. So it can take quite a long time to tame animals. I was told with a larger carnivorous animals, you want to get prime meat, which you can get from like stegosauruses, bronchiosauruses, higher level animals. So you get that prime meat and you can feed it to them, and it's supposed to tame them faster. So with obviously without meat eaters, you can't use meat on them, and those that are meat eaters, you can't use berries. So you want to use the berries for the plant eaters, and the meat for the carnivores. Is pretty self-explanatory there. So you see me here, I'm just running back and forth, getting as many berries as possible, and I'm rushing to keep this thing full of berries. Like I said, it took me at least 100 berries to tame this thing. I'm already a third of the way there, and it's been about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. So I think this thing ends up taking about 10 minutes or so to end up taming. So yep. So that's pretty much it for taming. To review real quick, you knock out the animal, whether that's with a toxin, like you can get like poison arrows that I guess you use the narco berries to create a poison to knock out animals. You can use your bow to knock out animals, and you can use your fists to knock out animals. So also the slingshot is very good at knocking out animals. I forgot to mention that as well. So make sure if you're a lower level, you're using the slingshot. I knocked out my Carno with the slingshot. That's how I ended up getting that knocked out. And another quick tip is your narco berries, and we'll go over this real quick because this is super important. The narco berries, you can collect them and you can keep them, but they will go bad. If you get a grinding kit to grind up things and make poisons and stuff and tinctures, you can actually get a recipe for a narcotic. So you get the narcotic engram, and you use this, I forget what they're called, the crucible, I guess, with the grinder. And you have to build a thatched floor, and you put the crucible on the thatched floor. It can only be built within a house or on a thatched floor, basically. And then you put your narco berries in there, and you have to have some rotten meat. So make sure you keep all of your rotten meat to put in there to make narcotics. And so it takes 5 narco berries and 1 rotten meat to make a narcotic. And basically the narcotic does about 35 points of torpor, sorry. And that will keep the animal knocked out. Now you're like, okay, that doesn't add up. The actual narco berry does more time than the narcotic, so why would I use a narcotic instead of a narco berry? Well, with the narcotic, it doesn't spoil. You can't keep 100 narco berries on you at all times. After an hour or so of gameplay, they're all going to spoil and you don't have any anymore. So what you do is you take your 100 berries, you go and you just make a ton of narcotics. So with 100 narco berries, you can make, 20 narcotics if you have 20 spoiled meats. That's what it's called, spoiled meats. I was saying rotten meats, but I couldn't think of spoiled meats. But you take, 20 spoiled meats and 100 narco berries, and you can make, 20 narcotics. So 20 narcotics will buy you, 600 torpor. So that's enough to probably sustain an animal for 30 minutes maybe. I don't know, I'd have to do the math on it. So make sure that when you're not taming an animal or you're preparing to tame an animal and you're collecting narco berries, that if you're not going to be taming it right away, like as in you collect narco berries as many as you can, as fast as you can, gain like 200 of them, and then immediately go to tame an animal, then you want to make sure you turn them into narcotics. Otherwise, just get 100 narco berries, go start taming an animal, and then you can actually collect more narco berries while you're taming it, and you can kill other animals to give it more meat. My Carno that I was taming, actually, I had to kill like 20 animals to get that thing enough meat, and I was only halfway through before that server restart. So that's pretty much it for taming animals. I end up getting this Fiomia tamed, and I was able to ride it around a bit, and it was actually a pretty trusty steed. The only problem is I didn't create a house with a bed. So another pro tip about taming animals, make sure you make a house and you make a bed before you go and tame an animal. The reason for this is that once you tame an animal, and if the server restarts, you're going to spawn in a random place. And that's what happened to me, and I ended up actually losing this Fiomia, which was kind of sad. It was a sad day. I also lost the Carno that I spent 2 hours on, and a Triceratops that I spent like, I don't know, an hour on. So I spent a lot of time taming my first couple animals, and I didn't have a base with a bed in it, and I ended up, and what you do is once you make your base, you ride all your animals there, and then you can log off at your base, and when you come back in, you can spawn on the bed rather than in a random location, and all your animals will be there. I made a mistake of not doing that, so make sure you do that as well. That's another important thing. But other than that, that's pretty much it as far as taming animals. It can get long and complicated later on, but definitely worth the reward. Like if you can wait it out and do a Carno, you know, they're very strong, they're very fast. At level 50, you can put a saddle on one. So if you know, spend that thing spends its whole life with you at the beginning, you can level it up, and it can be pretty high level by the time you can mount it. So I hope you're enjoying ARK, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this really helps you learn how to tame an animal. And good luck with your taming and saddling your animals and riding, and good luck in ARK. So thanks guys for watching, and have an awesome day. So yeah, we had a Triceratops, we had a something another that we saddled, and we were halfway through the yeah, I'm on official server 60, but we were halfway through taming a Carno. It took me 2 freaking hours to tame the Carno. 2 hours, and then they do a reset, a server reset. I spent a lot of time taming that Carno.